Hello viewer, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for watching my videos. The maritime industry is facing a silent crisis. By 2026, we could be short of nearly 90,000 officers. At the same time, we are ignoring half the global talent pool. Women make up just 1% of seafarers. This isn't just a diversity issue, but it's a business risk and a safety concern too. And ultimately, a question of survival for the global shipping and the seafarers involved in it. This presentation also looks at where we stand today as an industry using real data from the 2024 IMO-WISTA survey. This 2024 WISTA survey still holds good as a comprehensive data of the women in the maritime industry. The next report is supposed to come out in the year 2027, where we will again go through the report and understand its contents. Because we understand the numbers and understand what we need to change, this presentation becomes very important to every seafarer who is on board, on leave, or any person looking to contribute to the maritime industry. Let's jump into the video. A global call for officers. The industry is facing a serious talent shortages. The projected shortage, as I told before, is around 90,000 by the year 2026. If you can see, the current workforce is 1.9 million and the required officers is 2 million, and the projected shortfall is around 90,000 seafarers which we require. We are in a war of talent, and if you're looking only in the half of the population, we are not going to able to get the ships moving as we need. Going ahead, at first glance, it just looks like the number of seafarers in the maritime who are women is increasing to 176,820. That is 176,000 women seafarers in 2024. That looks encouraging, but if you see the percentage, it is actually reducing. If you see the graph here, it has fallen from 20.5 in 2021 to 19% in 2024. Why? Because the industry itself is expanding faster than we are bringing the women in. This becomes very, very important to increase the women count in the maritime industry as soon as possible. The real gap, only 1% of active seafarers are women. This is a very, very stark truth as of 2024. And very similar in 2026 as well. Think about that. On water, if there are 100 seafarers, only one seafarer is woman out of the 100 seafarers. The good news is that the seafaring students are increasing. What it means, if you take the pool of all the seafarers being trained in institutes before going out to sea, 5% of that numbers is women. This is a good sign where the percentage of seafarers, active seafarers, will also increase if the trainees increase. The path forward, our job on the ships is in the office to make sure when those students graduate, they find environment that is calm, professional, and ready to learn to work with. That is very, very important. And we need to ensure that when they join, they stay. Women on the shore side, it actually paints a different picture here. Women in the maritime authorities, around 19% in authorities and around 16% in private roles are women. We see stronger presentation in functions like finance and accounting, human resources, and administration. If you see here, the maritime overall is 19%, and the national maritime authorities is 19%, and the shore-based is 16%. We need to bridge the gap by collaborative spirit from the shore sea time. This is one of the most positive developments we should say. Women make up 34% of the board members. This is a very good step where women now represent more than third of the board's members in surveyed maritime organizations. We see improvement in safety, better equipment decisions, and stronger focus on sustainability. What happens at the top eventually shapes to the bottom. So if the top is all women and make 1/3 of the representation, obviously that will trickle down, and leadership at the top changes the rules on the ground. The top of our industry is becoming more diverse, and that changes the trickling down at every stage. If you see in 2019, it was 18% of the board members were females. Cut to 2024, we have 34% of seafarers in the board positions. The most critical topic which we need to discuss is why do they leave? This is biggest problem. if they have to increase in numbers in the maritime industry, the seafarers or the trainees who are coming have to stay for a long time and grow inside the maritime industry. Many women leave the industry due to three key reasons. For family unfriendly policies, long contracts, unlimited flexibility. Second, persistent stereotypes, questions about capability. We all see it every day. And third, pay inequality and limited growth opportunities. We have limited growth opportunities viewed as gender on shore jobs and for the promotions as well. These are the main key areas where seafarers, mainly female seafarers, do not want to continue in the shipping industry and want to shift ashore or look for another career. Make sure no one has to choose between family and career. A ship that accommodates a parent is a ship that retains its best talent, regardless of the gender. We have to be very specific of this regardless of the gender. If you are going to lose this trained workforce regularly, then there is going to be a talent shortage, which is a cost which we cannot afford. What is the impact of discrimination? We have to be honest about challenges. This is just women's issue, it's a safety issue. Around 60% of women report discrimination and 25% report harassment. This is not just a social issue, it's a safety issue on board. On shore, we can tell this is a social issue and brush it off. But on board, it is a real, imminent safety danger. Good culture is no more optional. We have to have a culture on board and we have to respect women seafarers and equally assign responsibilities to them on important tasks. Good culture is not optional, it's a part of good seamanship. We should not drain the talent, we should avoid safety risks, and we should always move away from cultural damage. India's vision, what has India taken a step forward in the improvement of women seafarers in the maritime industry? Sagar Mein Samman 2025 program is a structural framework for mentorship, safety and respect for women seafarers. What is the target of the Indian government? Women seafarers in the Indian maritime sector to be more than 5%. Structured programs that celebrate achievement and treat every professional with dignity. What we have in the Sagar for Samman, we have mentorship programs, safety framework, and recognition and respect. This is just a kind of approach the industry needs, not just intent, but execution. So the data gives us clarity. The gap is real, but so is the opportunity. The maritime industry cannot afford to ignore half the global talent pool. This is not just about infusion, it's about sustainability, safety, and survival. The way forward is simple: work together, build better environments, and retain the talent we already have. Because the future of shipping depends on it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.